Thank you for coming on to What to Know Wednesdays. This is the first one of our series, so tune in every Wednesdays. We sometimes go live, we might go recorded, just tune in. So these are going to be short little videos. Tonight's video topic is how to brush your horse's mane and tail. Seems really simple, but there are little tips and tricks and safety aspects that you should all know when trying to brush your horse's tail. So I would like to begin with different types of detanglers that we use for a horse's tail, similar to what we'd like to use in our own hair. I personally like the Cowboy Magic. Really works well when you can put it in your hands, comb through that tail before you start brushing it out. So right here we have our demonstration horse, Dot. So she knows that I'm back here. Every time when you're brushing your horse's tail, you never want to stand right behind them because they don't know where you're at. So whenever you're trying to brush a tail, I always try to stand to the side. And like you would brush your own hair, you don't want to start from the top because you'll pull out knots, pull out hair, and that's what we don't want when we're trying to brush them out. We would like a nice thick tail, just like Dot has here, and so they can swat flies, but then also look pretty in the show pen. So, for example, what I like to do, especially when the horse's tail is very knotted, is I like to take a chunk of that tail, start from the bottom, comb it out, or brush it out, whichever way you have, and then slowly work your way up. And hopefully, the more times you do it, the more of those knots come out of the tail. And then what I like to do at the very end is I like to grab the whole tail, bring it to the side, but then brush it all out and make sure I got all of the knots that are out of her tail. And I kind of brushed her tail out before this, so right now hers are very easy to brush out. Other than just the tail of the horse, we'll move on to the mane. Very similar, same aspects of when you would brush out the horse's tail is brushing out their mane. I know Dot doesn't have too long of a mane, but we don't want to pull out any hair that she has right now. So similar to the tail, I would put that Cowboy Magic in, or detangler if you have any, and then you would start from the bottom and then slowly work your way up to get any of those knots that would be out of in the mane and get all those knots out. The whole reason we like to brush out our horse's mane and tail is so they don't have any knots. Maybe they have mud clumps that we need to get out, but then make sure if they develop knots, if they get really bad, you might not be able to brush them out and you might just have to cut them out. And we don't like cutting our horse's bangs a lot. So try to do this whenever you get your horses, you groom your horse or you're about to ride, especially before you show. But those are our short tips for how to brush your horse's mane and tail. Tune in next week.